Next on Broadway Profiles, say hello to Mrs. Doubtfire. We'll talk to Rob McClure, the man who will step into that iconic role when Broadway returns. Because she can, I'll sit down with the Tony-nominated star of Moulin Rouge the musical, Karen Olivo, and music from the cast of Sing Street. And I'll talk to the show's choreographer, Sonia Taya. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is Broadway Profiles, presented by Broadway.com. Welcome to Broadway Profiles. I'm your host, Tamsen Fadal. With the rollout of 2 COVID-19 vaccines, there is more optimism than ever that Broadway will return this year. And until the lights come on, we're keeping the spirit alive for you with some of our favorite interviews from this past year, plus the latest Broadway buzz.
Hey, sister, go, sister, soul, sister, flow, sister. Hey, sister, go, sister, soul, sister, flow. Rio Lady Mama.
And we're kicking things off with Moulin Rouge the musical. It features more than 70 of the hottest songs and remixes from the past few decades. And in a season cut short by coronavirus, Moulin Rouge is nominated for 14 Tonys, including Best Actress in a Musical, Karen Olivo. Let's jump right in and talk about it. You've been doing the show for a while now.
Yeah.
How does it feel with audience reaction? Because as soon as you come out on stage, people relate, they hear the songs, they know that they're part of it already.
Right. You know, it feels incredible to be a part of something that sort of sucks in audiences. You can tell that they're having the times of their life. And their faces, I always say, it looks like they've just gotten off of a roller coaster.
The Moulin Rouge is a state of mind.
Talk about when you open up and you come out for the first time.
It's funny, Satine is playing every single character that she can because her job is to sort of assimilate and make every single man feel like they have their fantasy. And so throughout the first couple of scenes, she's playing so many different roles. It's only when you get her into the elephant and she sees Christian that all of that stuff sort of peels away and you see what her heart is. But you know, for me, it's such a challenge. Like I get to just use every single tool in my toolbox, and I mean, it's a dream. It's a dream role. I mean, it uses every part of me.
Sonia, let's talk a little bit about that because I'm going to see her in a little
Sonia.
while. But in terms of working with her as a choreographer, everybody I hear from just says it's kind of magical, and they knew when they went through the casting that they had to be a part of that show.
Yeah, you know, I was a fan of Sonia's work from So You Think You Can Dance, but what I think is so important about having Sonia on this project is that, you know, the Moulin Rouge is centered around the female form. You know, and there's a fine line between sort of displaying the female form in a way that is provocative and maybe demoralizing to the woman. And what I found with Sonia is that she makes it empowering. And throughout the entire process, when we were working on choreography and specific steps, she would keep asking, "Do you feel strong?" And that's the difference.
And you have been in some incredible shows already when you look back at your career. But talk about what it was like when you first started, because when I started in TV, I was told, look more like the girl next door.
Right.
I didn't know how to, it's not possible to do.
Right.
And you said that you responded to a lot of roles that were exotic actors wanted. Well, that has changed. The face of Broadway has changed.
It has.
Changing.
Yes, I agree. I mean, the sheer fact that I'm playing a role that was originated by Nicole Kidman, it is evidence that we're sort of looking at theater in a very different lens. I mean, I feel like there were definite moments in our process in which they wanted to stay a little closer to what the movie was, and a handful of times a very gentle reminder of, yes, but I'm a woman of color. And what I'm finding with this creative team specifically is that they are so open to every possibility. And I think that a lot more of those creative teams are finding places on Broadway so that we can sort of open up. We have a really long way to go.
We're sure excited about it. When Broadway is back in business, Tony Award nominee Rob McClure will return to the title role in Mrs. Doubtfire. Let's go ahead and send it over to Broadway.com's editor-in-chief, Paul Wontorek, with that interview. Hi there, Paul.
Thanks, Tamsen. We're talking about the hot flashes, a run by fruiting, a meringue mask, everything the Poppets want. Rob McClure will return as Euphigenia Doubtfire, the iconic Scottish nanny created by Robin Williams in the 1993 film. I traveled to Philadelphia, 100 miles south of the Sondheim Theater, to check out the home life of the man who will once again don the tartan skirt. Mrs. Doubtfire. This is a big title. People know Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm sure people like on the subway and people in your family.
It's the easiest explanation of the show.
Right.
What are you doing, Mrs. Doubtfire? Oh! Like there's no, like it's about a thing. No, they know.
People do love this movie and they love this story.
Sacred.
How do you explain the appeal of the story for today's audiences?
At its core, it's a family drama wrapped in a comedy. My earliest memory of it is all of my friends who were from divorced households saying like, that was the first movie that wasn't Parent Trap. That wasn't saying that the happy ending is me finding a way to get my parents back together. It was the first movie that was saying like, maybe you're all better for the divorce and you're gonna be okay and you can redefine what family means. And that was huge then. But we also in the show have further expanded that definition of family for a 2020 world.
We can't talk about Mrs. Doubtfire without talking about Robin Williams.
Come on, legendary. Oh God.
Did that scare you at all coming into this project?
Of course it did. First of all, it was an honor to take a swing at it. I feel like my first responsibility is to let the audience know that I'm gonna take care of the character they love. Those first few minutes, the first time you hear the Scottish brogue, the first time the door opens and Mrs. Doubtfire's standing there, it's important to me to let the audience know that that character is in safe hands and the hands of someone who is as big a fan as they are of the thing.
You are a Broadway actor who makes their home in Philadelphia. You have a family there. Let's talk a little bit about why that's important to you and how you balance this tale of two cities.
Yeah, my wife is an actress, and we met doing a show in the Philly theater community. She sort of introduced me to the world down there, and I sort of fell in love with the city, seeing it through her eyes. I just started to realize that like I can make the rules of my life.
Christmas 2018, Sadie
Yeah.
came into your life, your daughter. What has it been like becoming a father?
I have like existential dilemmas daily. Like looking at this child who, you know, you don't realize how much every move you make is shaping this person. Nothing will refocus your priorities, you know. All of a sudden it's just like, you have a great reason to say no. You know what I mean? No, I have to go. And my daughter's at home. No, I'm sorry. Like all of a sudden, saying no, which is impossible for years, is the easiest thing in the world.
You have developed an amazing Broadway career since Chaplin. Chaplin was a
Wild.
huge breakout moment for you,
Yeah,
Tony
yeah.
nomination, that incredible performance. This is 8 shows now. What is it like looking at that and thinking about that kid in New Jersey who was just obsessed with all things Broadway?
I don't feel like I'm not that kid anymore. I don't feel any different than I did in high school. It's an awesome thing to every now and then catch glimpses of myself through someone else's eyes, because you go like, oh my God, wait, I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing that I so hoped I would do.
The upcoming Broadway musical Sing Street is now aiming to open at the Shubert Theater in the winter of 2021. The show was just about to begin previews when the pandemic closed down Broadway.
She's standing on the corner like an angel in disguise. And as I look a little closer, she's got dangerous eyes.
But they were able to record and release a full cast album and 2 music videos. This song is called Riddle of the Model. And just like the show, the album is an ode to the British pop rock bands of the 80s. Shortly after the shutdown, I had a chance to catch up with Sonia Taya. She's a choreographer of both Sing Street and Moulin Rouge.
Let's dive in and talk about it, because I feel like right now art is getting people through. Can you talk a little bit about what you've been doing?
Yeah, I felt a mourning period inside, and I was trying to understand what that was. I just felt a deep sadness when it started. I mean, obviously I was walking into my first day of tech for Sing Street on Broadway, and we got sent home. To not be able to touch and to embody bodies in space.
Yeah.
It was very shocking and something that I've never experienced before unless I created that in my choreographic experiences,
Sure.
distance. And then I cried a lot for a while and felt sad for the world and for people that were sick. I said to myself, I need to take this time to really dissect my part in the universe and what I can do for this time to nurture myself so I can be a better person for the world when I am able to touch and communicate. So I'm trying to stay true to that. I'm trying to look at my contributions to the world and what I can do and how I'm able to maintain sanity for myself and remember who I am when I can't be who I am, and that's a choreographer.
Your art is all about people touching for the most part, right? And so I'm wondering how you as a choreographer who know bodies and touch and feel, and how has this impacted your art?
I'm inspired to create pieces about distance and the space between and the hesitation to communicate. Me and my girlfriend were just talking about it. It was like Mother Nature was like, listen, go to your room.
Right.
Stop. To be able to sit down and really look at my home, what my home needs, what my relationship needs, what I need has been really fruitful, truly.
And if someone told you to do it 2 months ago or a month ago when you're choreographing Moulin Rouge, you would go, I'll try, but right now I need to do these 8 things and then I'll let you know when I have time. It's kind of a badge of honor to be so busy, right?
Hey, sister, go, sister, soul, sister, flow, sister. Hey.
Talk a little bit about what you have on Broadway right now. Was Moulin Rouge your first Broadway show?
Yes.
Well, it was. I don't think I realized that was your first. I felt like you were just a veteran of Broadway. So you have, and then Sing Street was supposed to be in previews now. Is that correct?
Yesterday was our first preview.
This is your life. You can't go anywhere. You gotta grab the wheel and own it. You gotta put the pedal down. Drive it like you stole it.
We had a Zoom party. The Sing Street cast and the designer, everyone was there. It was awesome to see everybody, but that one hurt yesterday. But we have such incredible producers that are we're in agreement, of course, with the health and safety aspect of it and why we need to do this, and I totally get it, and I'm with them, and everyone needs to stay home, and so this can pass and we can understand what the next steps are. I love our community and I miss them so much. I cannot wait to see my community of incredible artists creating work in regards to this pandemic.
A Broadway life cut short. When we come back, we're remembering Rebecca Luker. And coming up next, she is one of the fresh new faces of Broadway. We'll introduce you to one of the stars of Wicked. I'm Tamsin Fidel, and you're watching Broadway Profiles. It is one of Broadway's longest running musicals, but it's still breaking barriers. So when the theaters reopen, you're definitely going to want to check out Shobha Narayan in Wicked. She is tonight's fresh face.
When I was 4 years old, I started doing these shows for my family every night while my mom was cooking dinner, and I'd be the director, producer, the talent, the box office. It was this one-woman variety show where I'd act and sing and dance, and my parents noticed that I had this creative habit of mine of putting on these shows, so they decided to start enrolling me in music and dance classes. When I was in 8th grade, it was announced that we would be doing The Wizard of Oz as our musical that year, and I was already obsessed with musical theater at that point, and I was so excited about the idea of playing Dorothy. But when I expressed my interest in the role, I was met with not so pleasant comments from my classmates. They were saying things like, Dorothy needs to be white, she's not brown, it's never going to be you. So as upset and as discouraged as I was, I still decided to cancel out all the noise and go after what I wanted, and I ended up getting the part. It was the most magical experience of my life to be able to, play a leading part for the first time. I'm so happy that a show like Wicked that has been running for so long is opening up these beautiful roles for people of color. I'm honored to be the first South Asian in this role. I think when you don't see yourself on stage or know what's possible for you, it's hard to go for a dream. So I'm hoping that for a small few, I'm able to be that person, and we'll see, hopefully more and more women of color going fearlessly towards their dreams of playing lead roles on Broadway.
Family, friends, and the theater community all mourning the loss of one of our favorite Broadway stars, a tragic end to an already devastating 2020. Paul.
Tamsin, we wanted to take a moment to pay our respects to Rebecca Luker. The beloved leading lady lost her battle with ALS on December 23rd. Among her many gifts was her voice, one of the most glorious sopranos heard on Broadway in recent memory. Luker was a warm-hearted talent who oozed Southern charm and raw stage talent. After a striking debut as Christine Daae in The Phantom of the Opera, she had so many triumphs, including acclaimed turns in The Secret Garden, Showboat, The Sound of Music, The Music Man, Mary Poppins, and many more. Her husband, fellow Broadway star Danny Burstein, wrote recently, "Her heart shined out of her like a beacon. She literally had a glow around her. People called me Mr. Luker all the time, and I loved it." Rebecca Luker was 59.
Well, so far we brought you some of our favorite interviews from the past season, but there is plenty of new Broadway buzz and information to tell you about. Let's go ahead and send it back to Broadway.com's editor-in-chief, Paul Wontorek. Hi, Paul.
Here's a quick update on some eagerly anticipated movie musicals heading your way. The Steven Spielberg remake of West Side Story was supposed to be in theaters this past Christmas. But of course, the film, which features a new screenplay by Angels in America's Tony Kushner, saw its release delayed by COVID-19. But we can now tell you West Side Story will hit theaters on December 18th, 50 years after the Oscar-winning original. The live-action Little Mermaid, following the enormous success of Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, and Aladdin film reboots, doesn't have a release date yet, but has added a few new stars. Tony nominee Noma Dumezweni, recently of The Undoing, and UK stage star Jonah Hauer-King have signed on to the Rob Marshall production. The Little Mermaid stars Halle Bailey as Ariel and Hamilton's Daveed Diggs as Sebastian. And over at Netflix, the upcoming film of the musical Matilda has found its Miss Honey. Lashana Lynch will play the kindly teacher and foil to Ralph Fiennes as meanie Miss Trunchbull. Finally, Spamalot, the Monty Python King Arthur musical that taught audiences to always look on the bright side of life, is headed to the screen. Tony winner Casey Nicholaw will make his big screen directing debut with the Paramount Pictures release. That's it for me. Back to you, Tamsin.
Up next, I'm going to talk to one of the founding members of Boyz II Men about how the Temptations have influenced his life and his new music. I'm Tamsin Fadal, and this is Broadway Profiles.
I know you wanna leave me, but I refuse to let you go.
It's almost impossible to overstate the incredible impact the Temptations have made on the world, both with music and now theater. And there is every reason to believe Ain't Too Proud the musical will return to Broadway once this pandemic is over. One of the musicians most influenced by the Temptations is Sean Stockman, a founding member of Boyz II Men. And during this pandemic, he put out a new solo album.
The music that I created, coincidentally, and this was way before this pandemic occurred, I always said that I wanted this type of music to be the type of music that everybody sits and relaxes at home and chills, and whether they're cooking with their significant other and hanging out at the crib or driving to work or from work or whatever. Just a nice musical backdrop for somebody to listen to and hum and sing along to. And coincidentally, this pandemic happened, and as bittersweet as this is, I think because of it, people are more receptive to the music, which I'm grateful for. Growing up in Philly, around at my time when I was younger, the Temptations, the Motown sound, was very influential. The harmonies, the dance steps those guys used to do, like it was stuff that our parents used to play. fast forward years later, us being signed to Motown, we actually got to meet those guys and learn from them and do some shows with them and actually sit and get schooled by them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they would sit and just give us jewels, you know, of wisdom, and we took it all in. So if you're a group, if you've ever been in a singing group, they were the catalyst. They were the blueprint to what groups should represent.
And that's going to do it for us this time around. Until next time, be safe and be healthy. I'm Tamsin Fidel, and you're watching Broadway Profiles.